So I am just going to give you a tutorial on how to use my IndieQA starter kit because I've gotten some questions about this and I figure anyone who's new to this Discord is going to be wondering the same thing, and I think that's fair because this wasn't really ever explained, and I guess if you haven't been a QA before, this probably looks very weird. So, let's start off with this page. This is the top level page view. This is the project dashboard. Each line here is going to be one app that you're testing, or an API, or a website, or whatever. So it's a testing project. So from here, you can click in and see all of your test cases, so the tests that you're trying to run. But before I go into that, I just wanted to note here that I include all of the templates that are used within here right under here. So if you want to access them separately, you can look at the template for a test suite right here. You can look at a board for the bugs that you're tracking by status. This is essentially the standalone bug template as well, but it's got these fields up here as custom fields on the page instead of a table above the details section. So I'll go over that next, but this is the standalone, so you can see all those fields are in a table here, but the rest is the same. And this is what we're going to see in a second. So once you go into the project, you can see the side view peeks out a bit, but you can see that we're tracking the name of the developer, the name of the app, and the status. So if you decide one day that you're done testing this, you can hit done. You can put done, or maybe you have some that you haven't started yet that you're planning to work on, so you can still track those here with a not started status. So let's walk through this. The project description, just describe what you're testing and what you hope to get out of the project. I made a to-do list here because I usually keep track of small things that I want to do, like maybe I want to run through a certain list of tests today, or I have a bug that I want to retest because the developer fixed it. So those are some examples. Testing notes down here, or project notes, just anything you want to keep track of. And I have a section for developer contact information, so if you get any information from them about like where to test stuff, or you want a way to email or DM them, you can keep track of that information here. So every project comes with its own bug tracker board. I already showed you this as a standalone template over here, but let's walk through the bug template. So we want to keep track of the status of the bug. If we know that it hasn't been fixed yet, then it's going to be backlog. If the dev said that they're working on it, then it's in progress, and these are self-explanatory. But I can explain them anyways. So won't do would be the developer said that it's not a bug, or they just have accepted that that's going to stay in the app and they don't want to fix it. That's a won't do. And done is they've actually fixed it and it has the expected behavior. Device. This is going to be device model and the software version that your device is running. So this is iOS 16.6 on my iPhone 12. If you have an Android phone, it might be Samsung Galaxy S21 or Android 12 or something like that. So dev versus prod environment. The dev environment is probably what you're going to use most of the time. That's just going to be the test build of the app. If they have a beta version on the Play Store or they have a test flight build that they're sending you, that's dev. If you are pulling the app down from the App Store or the Play Store, not in a beta channel, then it's like the app that anyone in the world can just download from those stores, then that would be prod, because that's the live version of the app. It's important that you note where you find a bug, because if the app hasn't been released yet at all, then you're always going to be using dev. But if the app is out there in the wild already, then a prod issue is going to be more important than a dev issue, because it's already user facing. The app version, if you know it, I think you can find this in Test Flight or in the Play Store beta channel, if for the latest version, the latest test version. But I think you can also find this maybe in app settings, or if you open the app, it might have it somewhere. But yeah, this should be pretty easy to find. Ping questions in the Discord if you can't find it for whatever app you're testing. I guess, API, it might be a little more difficult, but I'm not sure. So yeah, just dig around and ask questions if you're not sure. More about the bug report. So details. This is the meat of a bug report. This is the first thing you're gonna write. Oh, whoopsie. There we go. I just gave bullet points here. You're gonna want it to be like a short paragraph format. You probably don't need bullets like this, but yeah, these are just some ideas of what to write. So this is what I'm seeing. This is why, this is what the acceptance criteria were, and this isn't, what I'm seeing. This is why it's not good for the user experience. And then I have some buttons here that allow you to embed a link to a Loom video if you like using Loom, or if you like having videos to explain stuff, or a picture of the application showing the bug, or a video showing the bug, like a screen recording. So yeah, these are both good things to have. And then steps to reproduce. This would be you walking the user or the developer through how they would create the buggy behavior on their own device. So it might be something like log in, click a button, type something into a field, click submit, and then that should be the last step before you see the bug. And then the expected behavior is usually going to be what was in the acceptance criteria. If this was like a story that you're testing, like a user story, but since we're testing indie apps, we probably won't have user stories. We'll just go with, this is what we thought would happen, because this is what we thought a good user experience would be. And the suggested fix would be what we think they should change, or what the new behavior should be. So yeah, that's the bug report, and you can track that in each project's bug tracker. As for the tests, these are 2 example test suites that I made. They're both empty in the starter kit, so you can make them whatever you want. You can add other ones, however you like to do things, really. It's kind of up to you. That's why I made this to be something that you can duplicate, which I'll show at the end. But you can own your own tests, so you can make them what you want them to be. So let's go through the table columns here. We have test cycle. This is the name of the set of tests that you are defining on each row. Last executed, this would be the last time you ran through those tests. The platform would be, I guess, whatever you're testing on. Since this is an app test suite, you can choose either iOS, Android, or both. And the result, this would be, since you ran through it, like the last time you ran through it, what was the status? Since the test suite is blank, I don't have a status here just because, but let's look at regression. First, regression versus smoke. Just a quick terminology note here. Regression testing is a full test of all of the existing features of the app that we expect to be working, and smoke testing is a subset of the regression test suite that covers only the most critical functionality and only the happy path scenarios. So let's say we grab login from one of the features in regression. For smoke, we're only going to be logging in with valid credentials for an existing user account. Whereas regression tests might also include for like not entering a password or entering an invalid email format, stuff like that. So smoke testing is supposed to be a lot quicker. Now, this is an example. Yes, there's a login test case, but let's go through the, what makes up a test cycle, right? So we've got test case, which is the name of the test, it's usually the name of a feature that you're testing. We've got the result, which is similar to, the result of the larger test cycle, but this only applies to this test. And then the last executed as well. We like to keep track of last executed because it lets us know if it's been a while since we've run those tests, which could be an indicator that we should run them again soon if it's been a while. So let's take a look at login. This is what a test case looks like, a very basic test case. You've got your pass-fail. You've got your test step, which would be, let's see, we could just make an example one here. So log in with valid email and valid password. We'll say this is background information in the test data column. We could say it's an existing user account, so we don't want to have to create a new user for this. And then the expected result is user is logged in and taken to the first, taken to the account screen. I'm just making this up. So let's say we come back and, we've already documented what we want to test, right? And now we're actually going to go test this. So let's say we log in and the user is shown an error message. So that would be a fail. So then we would throw a failure there, and we would have the actual result to remind us what failed. And then after this, what we would go do is we would go make a bug. So we would then create, in the backlog. First we want to duplicate, just because that's how we can get use out of these templates, So the feature was login, and the summary was user cannot, user is shown error when logging in with valid credentials. So then the details would be, the user is, user should be able to log in with valid email and valid password. Instead, the user is being shown an error message. Yeah, so this is a pretty short one. We don't have an image because we're making this up, but let's say we wanted to, upload some random thing, right? What about, there we go. There's our error message. So steps to reproduce. This is important for the developer. So launch the app. In a logged out state, enter valid email and valid password for existing user account. Click submit, log in, whatever the button actually says. And that's where the bug should happen, right? So expected behavior, what we expected was user is logged in and shown the account screen. So we're making up. And let's see, a fix would be ensure the user does not encounter an error message when logging in with valid credentials. So there you go, there's your bug report. So now I want to go over how you would share this. So there's a share button at the top of all of these pages. You go to the publish tab and hit copy web link. So I only have allow duplicate as template in case the developer wants to, share it around or keep it in their own workspace. But what you can also do here, just for your own tracking purposes, is you can go back in and you can link the bug. Oh, actually, there is a cool feature here. Mention page. There you go. So you can you can have a link to it as well right here if you want. And that way you can navigate straight to it. So that way you can remember what to go retest afterwards. Okay, I'm going to clean this up here real quick. Let's go back into those tests. And delete that. All right. So that's how you use this. The smoke test is identical, by the way. But you can, I'm leaving this very open-ended so that you can do whatever you want with it. But this is mostly what I had in mind. So if you want to duplicate this to your own Notion board, what you're going to want to do is hit those three dots up at the top and hit duplicate. I think there's a duplicate to my Notion button as well. It might also be yeah, it's going to be under here. Duplicate to my Notion somewhere. Since I'm already logged in and this belongs to me, it's not going to give me that option, but it should give it to you if you go to that link. Yeah, let's see. If we go to this link, view site, so you can see duplicate here. And this is what that looks like. There you go, QA project dashboard. Yeah, so just delete that. And this is what mine looks like right now. I'm going to be sharing all of the ones that I currently have in the Discord for your benefit, but this is the information I have. I have a bug I already filed around invalid email password formats have no validation message. It's just the red box. See, but you can see the details here are included. You can review this bug if you want to copy the way that I write them. But yeah, there you go. I don't have Pantry Pal stuff set up yet. I really wanted to do that this weekend, but it's starting to look like I might not get to it. It was a very busy weekend, but in a good way. A lot of fun stuff happening, but it's a Labor Day weekend. If you're not in America, it's a very it's a long weekend. One of the few that happen during the year for federal holidays, so everyone's got plans. So I'm no exception. All right, so just a quick peek into the regression tests that I've made. So I have a list of features here to organize my test cases by login, sign up, forgot password, new feeling. Like each journal entry in this app is called a feeling, delete account, celebrations. I failed sign up because I had that one bug, or I guess I had a few bugs, but yeah. You can do a lot with this. It's kind of up to you how crazy you get with it, and you can always build on top of it. Like maybe you want to have like some notes down below or something. You can do whatever you want. Another table. Use slash commands. They're fantastic. Notion's really powerful. So yeah, give this a shot. If you still have any questions, just ping out in the Discord. But I'm trying to make this so that people don't need me to get started, because I am one person and I have a finite amount of time and I don't want to hold anybody up. So, all right, happy testing.